Hi students, welcome to our video classes. In the previous classes we have learnt about matter and the how it is composed. That means about the particles, constant particles of matter. Today we are going to learn about classification of matter as solids, liquids and gases. In our day-to-day life we observe different kinds of matter. All these are in the same states? No. Some are in solid state, some are in liquid states and some are in gaseous states. Okay. How this matter is in different states, that is simply based on the arrangement or the variation in the characteristics of the particles of matter. These are in three states. Already we have learned about the characteristics of particles of matter. What are these characteristics of the particles of the matter? We know every matter is made up of tiny particles. Okay. And is the attraction or the distance between the particles of all types of matter is same? No, that is different. That's why simply based on the arrangement or variation in the characteristics of the particles of matter, it is classified into three states, namely solids, liquids and gaseous. Other states of matter are also there, that are plasma state and Bose-Einstein condensate. About this plasma state and Bose-Einstein condensate we will learn later. Why? After we are learning about atoms, molecules, ions, okay, that we will understand clearly. Now we are going to learn about solid, liquids and gaseous. Why this matter is in different states, or what are the properties of solids, or when do you say that substances are in solid states? Let us observe. What are the examples of solid states? For example, a pen, chalk piece, brick, stone, all these are in which state? Solid state. How can you say that these are on solid state? Collect different objects what are available in our surroundings, a small stone, a chalk piece, a pen, or like that, and take a pencil. With the pencil trace out the edges, that means draw the boundary lines of these objects. Whenever we draw the boundary lines of these objects, then that have fixed shape. That boundary, from that boundary line we can see clearly it has fixed shape, fixed volume and distinct boundaries also. Okay. And in the same manner we can say about solids also. What are we collected? That means this pen or chalk piece, take a pen and collect a different shaped vessels, like a cylindrical shaped vessel, a cone shaped vessel, a round bottomed flask, like that. Collect a different shaped vessels. First put this pen in the cylindrical shaped vessel and transfer it into another vessel, round bottomed flask or conical flask. Is the pen takes the shape of the container? No, shape doesn't change and volume also doesn't change. What are the boundaries of that solid object? That remains the same. Its boundaries are not disturbed. That's why these solids have fixed shape. These substances have fixed shape, fixed volume and distinct boundaries. Simply these substances which have fixed shape, fixed volume and distinct boundaries are called as solid substances. Why these solid substances have fixed shape and distinct boundaries and fixed volume? Okay, if we observe the constants of this solid matter, that are tiny particles. What about these tiny particles? The tiny particles in solids are closely packed. They are closely packed means the space between the particles is very low. If the space between the particles is low, then the attraction between the particles is very high. That means that are held together, sticked to each other by stronger attraction forces. Okay, that means what we call as cohesion force. This cohesion is very high in the particles of solids. Okay, due to this higher attraction force between the particles doesn't move from their fixed positions. Always the particles of a solid remains in the same position and vibrate about its mean position only. That means the position of the particles are not disturbed. Then automatically the solids have fixed shape, fixed volume and distinct boundaries. Okay. Next, what about the compressibility of solids? Can we compress a solid? No. Simply what is compressibility? Okay, decrease in volume under pressure, that is called as compressibility. Or take a solid substance like a brick or a stone. Okay, hold that brick or stone with your hands and try to press. If you try to press, means what is exerted on it? Pressure is exerted. On the application of this pressure, is the shape or size changes? No, its size or shape remains same. Okay, that means that are not compressed. That's why the compressibility of the solids is very low. That means the solids have a tendency to remain in their own shape, in the same shape under the application of force. This property is also called as rigidity. That means here what are rigid? The solids are incompressible. That's why the solids are rigid. If they are rigid, are they flow from one place to another place? No, they do not. They do not flow from one place to another place. That means how can we can transfer a liquid from one container to another container? In the same manner, these solids do not flow. That means the solids have motion. Already we have learnt about motion and flow. Simply motion means all these particles are sticked together. That's why the whole substance, okay, under the application of force displaces at the same time. That's why these have motion. That means these do not flow. Why? These are rigid. And is the rigidity of all the solids is same? No, its rigidity is different in different solid substances. For example, take a chalk piece. We can break the chalk piece with our hand easily. Okay, that means the attraction force is there between the particles, that is low. That's why we can easily break that chalk piece with our hands. Then can we break an iron nail or iron rod with our hands directly? No, we can't. Why? That cohesion force between the particles of iron is very high. Okay, that's why the rigidity, solids are rigid, but the rigidity of all solids is not same. Okay, among all the solid substances, which is more rigid? Diamond has more rigidity. It is the hardest substance. But as per chemistry, no one is rigid in the real world. Okay, and these solids do not fill the container. The solids do not fill the container completely. Why they are not filled the container completely? For example, take a solid substance of volume 100 cubic centimeters. If we place the solid substance of 100 cubic centimeters in a larger container, is that solid fills the container completely? No. Why? It has fixed shape and fixed volume and distinct boundaries. That's why it is not filled the container completely. Okay, that's why the solids do not fill the container completely. And if we observe the diffusion, already we have learnt about diffusion. What is meant by diffusion? The intermixing of that means the motion of one type of particles, one kind of matter into another kind of matter, that is called as diffusion. Simply intermixing of particles of different kinds of matter, that is called as diffusion. Are the solids are diffused? Yes, the solids are diffused. Let us observe one example. Take naphthalene balls or naphthalene balls. If the naphthalene balls are left aside on a table, okay, they disappear after a few days. How it is happened? That means the solids diffused into gases. That means the particles of this naphthalene intermixes with the particles of air. That's why we observe a smell. But for this disappearance of this naphthalene or camphor, it takes lot of time, some days. That means it's here the rate of diffusion of solids is low. Then the solids diffused into solids diffused into liquids, and solids diffused into gases also. Now what I told about naphthalene and camphor, this is the example for diffusion of solids into gases. And the solids diffused into liquids or not? Yes. In the previous class we have learnt some potassium permanganate crystals are taken. If that potassium permanganate crystals are added to water, then the entire water changes into violet color. That is diffused due to diffusion of these potassium permanganate crystals into water. Okay, and solids diffused into solids also. But we think the solids didn't diffuse into solids, but solids diffused into solids also. To know this, let us observe an example. If somewhat it is written on the blackboard with a chalk, Okay, and if it is that letters, if it is not erased for if it is not erased for more than 15 days, it is not erased for more than 15 days, and after that 15 days, okay, can you erase the letters on the blackboard easily? No, we can't. Why? Because these particles of the chalk enters into the particles of the blackboard, that means that are diffused. Okay, that means due to in this manner. And one more example, if two different metals are placed such that the two are contact and left for a few days, more than 15 days, and after the 15 days we observe that are sticked, that means the particles of one kind of this metal enters into the particles of other kind of metal, that is also diffusion. Okay, that means this rate of diffusion of solids is low comparatively to liquids and gases, but the solids are also diffused. Okay, these are about properties of solids and about solids. Okay, next about liquids and gases, properties of liquids and gases we will learn in next class. Okay, I think all are understand about these properties of solids. Okay, try to gather different materials what are available in our surroundings and classify them as solids, liquids and gases, and observe the properties of the solids. In next class we will learn about properties of liquids and gases. Thank you.